Hello again, West Ham Network. It's Holly and I'm here with your Hammers headlines for today, Wednesday, the 2nd of August, run in association with KUMB.com, of course. We're hearing a lot of the same names in all of the headlines at the moment, but there have been some significant changes with some of the deals that West Ham have been working on for a while now. So let's jump straight into them. I want to start with a bit of positive news, and it's about the progression of a rumoured deal for Zakaria. Now, previous publications are reporting that a Zakaria fee has been agreed, but personally, I can't find any sources that are reputable enough, in my opinion, to say for sure. And as we know, it's all speculation until they actually physically sign that contract and we get them at the club. And I really wish I could give you some more 100% factual Hammers headlines at the moment. That's what I want to be doing right now. But we just don't have any news that's set in stone, and it's frustrating, but rest assured we are trying our best and hoping it won't be long until we do have the first signing of the transfer window. And when it does happen, if it does happen, it's going to be a glorious day. We're going to celebrate and it's going to just be lovely. So I'm certainly not saying that a Zakaria deal is done, but headlines are saying that Zakaria to West Ham is looking incredibly likely. In fact, they're actually saying that an agreement has literally been reached. You know it's bad. You've got the trust issues happening when you see headlines saying that it's done and you still don't actually believe a word of it and want more confirmation. So should this happen, he would be one of West Ham's interesting signings that we have been looking at for a while, and it's been rumoured in that position. He would be one of Tim Stuyton's recommended targets, and the move is said to have been for 17 million to Juventus for the 26-year-old. Just one defensive midfielder right now would definitely make a massive difference, just to morale, I think, and fans. I've never known everyone feeling so down and defeated, having gone from the highs of like winning the Conference League and thinking that this is going to be like a real chance to strengthen our squad, to where we currently are. So let's hope that this one can happen soon. Up second, I'm afraid it's a bit of a sad one. The Borges deal is looking like it's off completely. Now, we've been told for a while that this deal was pretty much done, but that the player was away and that was just holding things up a little bit. But it appears that things weren't actually as finalised as we thought. So it's been said that the first hurdle was the buyback price, with Borges' agent speaking to others while negotiations were ongoing to find backup options. So we also continued our approaches with others at the same time. And then the other issue was that the manager and board didn't apparently see eye to eye on how the 19-year-old would be used within the team. Moyes seemed to see Borges as one for the future, and the board were really pushing for the signing. Again, this sounds like it makes sense given that the owners are said to believe that more cost-effective players are the way to go, and we've seen that Moyes is notoriously slow to actually introduce youngsters and just stick them out there and give them a chance. So that disagreement sounds like it makes sense there. And then Ajax have swooped in at the end and basically made him feel a lot more important than we did. And that's actually what's being reported, which is a shame to hear. But as I said, if you haven't heard in this morning's daily, it's difficult when you are approaching so many players to make any of them feel like we actually value them and see a place and a future for them in the team. And lo and behold, he doesn't feel very important because we have been sniffing around so many different players, holding off, not wanting to commit. So yeah, sounds like we couldn't tell him whether he'd start or not. So he's chosen the Dutch side over us and is expected to undergo a medical with them shortly. Fabrizio has reported that he was on his way to the Netherlands to complete that deal. By the looks of things, the deal was worth up to 17.2 million. And City will have a buyback option with a 20% sell-on clause, which seems like it was in the ballpark of what we were wanting to offer anyway. Odds on us coming back from this one next to zero by the looks of things. And your third story for today, the James Ward-Prowse deal might somehow still be on the cards. Yesterday, it was reported that we'd ended our interest in James Ward-Prowse after talks with Southampton because they were simply asking too much money for their 28-year-old captain. However, this seems to have changed again in what I'm going to call the deal that just won't die. So the Athletic have reported that we are in fact considering a fresh offer for Ward-Prowse after our £30 million bid was turned down. TalkSport, on the other hand, are saying that we have submitted a final take it or leave it offer of somewhere in the region of £30 million for him. Basically, it appears that, again, no one source seems to know exactly what is happening at the moment. £30 million is definitely on the high end, as we've already discussed, for somebody that is going to have a low sell-on value after his next signing, mainly given his age, but also, obviously, we'd need him to perform at a really high level, and how many years would the deal be for, and then what would he be worth at the end of that? Probably next to nothing. Who would even go in for him? Many questions. But there is no denying that he could do a job at West Ham and that he could provide incredible service, help us out with a lot of goals. He's a good leader. So there are definitely good attributes. It's just that 30 million is on the high side for somebody of that age. But it's thought that Southampton are expected to reject our offer as they continue to hold out apparently for £40 million, which seems ridiculous to me. I don't know what you think. Let us know in the comments. But I have a feeling that our offer might be the most that any club is willing to offer for Ward-Prowse. So hopefully this will put the pressure back on them to seriously consider it. After all, I can't see Ward-Prowse being happy to play in the Championship. So he might actually start to put pressure on for this move as well, if we make it clear that we are not going to budge any higher and that we will go after other targets. I think this, like I said again this morning, is one of the problems with flirting with so many different targets, that they all think that they can push the price up and that it's a long game and that we're not going to jump to a quick decision. The problem is that that means that we can't really scare anyone into going like, look, we will walk away. And we have obviously come in with improved bids for players, which makes them think that, again, we're not actually going to walk away when we say that we will. But if we make it clear that we actually will, hopefully we could get this over the line nice and early, or leave him and go and focus on other targets and give them 100%. Whatever it is, whatever our vision is, can we please go and do it? So those are your Hammers headlines for today. For good measure, I'm actually going to throw in a fourth, which is that Atalanta have joined the race for Scamacca and are prepared to pay £25.8 million for him, apparently. Scamacca is leaning towards Inter if a deal can be agreed, and they're expected to go back in with an improved bid to match Atalanta's now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because West Ham have previously said that they only will sell Scamacca if they can recover a similar amount of money to what they spent on him. But those two clubs, their offers aren't even close yet. So there is a lot to think about. It will be interesting to see what happens, because if he wants to push for the move, we're in a bit of a sticky situation. There we have it, though. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I hope you've enjoyed. And like I said, hopefully soon we're going to have some Hammers headlines that are 100% factual and they're good news. Signings, that's what we want. Sounds like things are still happening in the background, but it's been a little while since we had a signing. It's been, 6 months? So any day now we're due one. But there we have it. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Wednesday. Until next time, come on, you Irons. Bye-bye.